Good afternoon. My name is Allison Fleck, and I am Executive Director of Midsummer's Music, joined by special guests Jeannie Yu on piano and Jim Birkenstock, President and Artistic Director. Welcome to our first ever Midsummer's Music live Facebook event. Today we are celebrating Midsummer's Music birthday. Today was to be our 2020 opening night, and we thought getting together was fitting since this is the day that 30 years ago it all began. Please notice the donate button throughout our program. Midsummer's Music is grateful for all the support we have from our friends near and far. It's because of you that we have some exciting news that we'll be able to share with you on this program. After Jeannie's performance, we'll take some Q&A and some comments from our viewers. At this time, I would like to invite Jim Birkenstock to also welcome you. Jim?
Thanks, Allison. Thank you all for joining us. It's hard to believe that we're really starting our 30th anniversary. I was fortunate enough to be there back in, back in 1991 for our very first performance on June 12th. That year, it was a Wednesday afternoon, and we performed in the beautiful home of Peter and Diane Trenchard in Sister Bay, Wisconsin. And that was the first of 5 performances that year. Very short and sweet festival, all taking place in the span of 1 week. Nobody had any thoughts of what it might look like 30 years from then, because we didn't even know if we might be able to do it again the next year. But despite the fact that we were working on a very small budget, and as I often have said, we came into Door County, played 5 performances and left, and most people never even knew we'd been there. Nonetheless, it was enough to get us started and launch what so far has been a 30-season run, which we hope will continue for another 30 and another 30 after that. We chose the name Midsummer's Music because it's right at the time of the summer solstice. And in some cultures, midsummer is the same as the summer solstice. And so it's a time of great festivity in Scandinavian cultures, which Door County has a great deal of Scandinavian heritage. So there's a lot of celebration for the longest day of the year. And that's what we wanted to do with our programming, and our whole way of presenting music was not just to celebrate a time of year, but a spirit that pervades the time of midsummer. And that's what we've attempted to do, and I think we have rather successfully. We wish that we could be having the celebration that we wanted to have tonight, but we will postpone that and have this little celebration instead. So thank you all for joining us. Please come back often, and back to you, Allison.
Thank you, Jim. And Jeannie, thank you again for being with us. Can you tell us a little bit about the Mozart movement that you are going to share with us on this Facebook Live event?
Sure. First of all, I would like to personally congratulate Midsummer's for its 30th anniversary, and I'm delighted to offer a short and sweet musical toast. I definitely miss my colleagues. It's a very lonely experience, and I hope I get to make music with them sooner rather than later. This Mozart Kochel 576 in D major is a rather curious work because it is his last sonata, but he meant it to be first of 6 easy sonatas that he wanted to present to the Princess of Prussia. There's a wonderful childlike simplicity to this piece, And at this time, Mozart had just seen Bach's manuscripts in Leipzig, and so he had the polyphonic style in the front of his mind, and he used the two hands as if they were two children playing chase, running after each other. So you would hear the imitation in each hand in close succession. It makes it a really fun piece to play. And here's the first movement.
Oh, Jeannie, thank you. Amazing, as
Beautiful,
always.
beautiful.
That's so great.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
You know, at our normal concerts, you'd hear so much applause and cheering. So we're all doing it for you right now.
Thank you.
Listen, I mean, I think one thing we found is that people are curious. Oh, and by the way, I have to say that the angle that you have at your piano is great because we get the real up close. So that's awesome. Thank you. I think people are interested, speaking of that, of your piano and what it's like to play on your own piano, your own home concerts in your own home.
It's a double-edged sword because I, of course, play this instrument every day and I know exactly how to play it to get what I want. But essentially, I am performing in my practice room, which is not the most ideal situation. Today, for example, the biggest dilemma was, what was I going to put shoes on for this performance or not? I actually do have shoes on, but most pianists, we don't plan on performing on our own pianos. So it's not your dream instrument, but I am fortunate to actually have this 1927 mahogany case Steinway, size M, which was given to me by my loving late mother-in-law. And she was a pianist, and it's a beautiful vintage. And I had it actually rebuilt, put in new action, and I'm fortunate to play on it. As far as home performances go, I think, you know, the better the microphone you have, the better sound you're going to have. So unfortunately, we are having to rely on equipment other than our own instrument. So well, let's see what we can do in the future.
Yeah, that's a great point. Speaking of like things that we're doing, feeling futuristic, you and your family gave us a video not that long ago, and I don't know if people can see, but right behind you, I see a violin case. And I know that you don't play violin. Is that right? You have a family ensemble?
I have a family trio. My husband is a cellist. He teaches at the University of Wisconsin in Milwaukee, and our son is an 18-year-old budding artist. He will be attending DePaul University in the fall, studying with Ihao Lee, and he wants to become a concert violinist. So we shall see.
That's exciting. That's really great. Jim, speaking of exciting, I'm sure everybody who is wanting to know about Midsummers and what we're doing this summer would hope that maybe at this time, are you able to share some news for us? What might we be planning?
Well, planning is the operative word there because as you know very well, we had an entire summer festival planned, and that got put on hold or washed away, at least temporarily, because of the virus situation. But we're fortunate enough as a chamber ensemble to have a great deal of flexibility. And so we're just trying to go with the flow and see how we can enter back into the whole concert situation. And the way it's looking right now, we're going to be doing some live video streaming on a bigger scale starting in early August. And rather than do your typical concert, which would consist of 3 or 4 pieces and have an intermission and so forth, we're going to be doing some shorter programs scattered throughout the week, and maybe create a focus each week on a different subject. One that I know that we're looking at very seriously is some female composers that have just come to my attention. We've performed music by women throughout our season. In fact, we've recorded several of those works, and so it's part of our passion for finding unusual, unknown works of high quality, but just haven't found their way to the fore. And I'm just delighted that there are some really interesting prospects for a little mini series with that kind of focus. But we have some others, maybe some Scandinavian music. We were going to do the Grieg String Quartet, so maybe we will go ahead and do that this year, but have that be sort of the focus of around which we bring in some other Scandinavian composers. So it's a work in progress. Please stay tuned, and we will try to get as much in as we can, and probably go on into the fall too. There's no reason that we have to stop when we normally would, because things are all up for grabs now, and there are musicians available and people hungry to hear music. So we may just keep right on going till Christmas.
That's great. And speaking of staying in tune, we have at our website, midsummersmusic.com, we have some of our videos from archives that people can go and listen to. We expect that we'll have our video presentation today out there, but there's also Jeannie and her family playing our Griffin String Quartets. And we'll keep people posted and up to date as we get our plans underway. This has been an exciting time for me. I thank both Jeannie and Jim for joining me on this Facebook Live event. It's fun. I think we'll be doing more of these, and I look forward to sharing them with those who can reach us through either Facebook or on our website with our streaming. I want to thank everybody who did have a chance to watch this, and thank you always to those who are donors and sponsors. We really appreciate you, and because of you, we expect that we're going to have these performances that Jim just talked about. So until next time, we say be safe, be healthy, and know that Midsummer's Music is thinking of you. And thanks again for being with us.